We'll go into the highs and lows. My little segment here I like to call the highs and the lows. We'll start with the lows. One of the things that I wanted to mention was Ohio State's red zone offense tonight was a little bit off. I don't know if Ryan Day, they were getting a little cute down there. Rutgers did a nice job defending a lot of play action, which I actually like down on the goal line. When you got a massive humanity in there, when you go basically three tight ends, one running back, one receiver, and it's just it's a massive humanity trying to smash it in from 2 yards out sometimes, and you just get bottled up in there. But I did like the play action stuff. It just wasn't working today, so I just think we got a little bit too cute. And again, they just went ahead and settled for Miyan Williams, going ahead and smashing it in. And so, again, it's all stuff that you can look at on film, what was going on with the red zone offense, why were we not hitting these, so what was going on there. So, again, something we can look at, one of my lows. Okay. Number 2 on the lows, the Rutgers penalties. Man, oh man, they just kept giving Ohio State chances down there. And as I've stated, you can't give Ohio State numerous chances in the red zone because their offense is just way too good. And when you've got multiple interference penalties, you've had holding in the end zone. But again, that's how good, though, the receivers are that Ohio State has. And the defensive back for Rutgers, they're limited. So what do? You got to try to get away with a tug on a shirt. You got to try to get away with a hold. If you got to interfere, hope the referee doesn't throw the flag. That's what you have to do. But the penalties, Rutgers really should have been off the field a couple times and held Ohio State to field goals, but they just couldn't do it because of the penalties, and it kept them alive, Ohio State alive. And as I said, what's a good team do? A good team sticks those balls in the end zone when they get another opportunity to do it, and that's exactly what they did. Number 3, Burke nailed twice on passes today. Denzel Burke came back off of injury last week. They said that he had some sort of a hand procedure done. There was a little bit of a surgery done. He tried to go last week with a club on in pregame. They just shut him down and says, forget about it. Victimized twice today. He was victimized on the 3rd down touchdown pass because at first I didn't know who number 10 was. I says, who the hell was number 10 that just they just scored over? Sure enough, Burke changed his number for today, and he gets beat there in the end zone on a back shoulder throw. And then in that 3rd quarter that led to the field goal after C.J. Stroud ended up throwing the interception, he also gets hit on another backside throw. He couldn't find the ball late, and Simon actually made a pretty decent throw and give the Rutgers kid credit. Went up, made the catch, and first down. But 2 times Burke gets it. And again, man, we got to have him get out of this little slump that he's in, this little sophomore slump. He was so damn good as a freshman last year. So we just got to hope that he just keeps working on his craft and practice. And he just keeps, just keeps getting better and understands that things will get better. Number 4 on the low, I kind of already touched on it, the late game shenanigans there that took place with Schiano and Ryan Day. Again, it was nothing personal. Ryan Day not trying to rub Greg Schiano his nose in the dirt with that. I think it's just something, and I'm sure we'll see it down this week here, that Jesse Mirko's just been taught all week or all year, and while he's been there, that when you get that look, go ahead and take off, and that's exactly what he did. So it's just basically doing what he's been taught the entire time. So those are my lows for the game. Now let's go to the highs. And where do we start at? Of course, right with number 1, but Miyan Williams, the man that came in as Meatball and has now has the name of Pork Chop, okay? Pork Chop goes for 189 and 5 touchdowns today. He ties the school record for touchdowns in a game with Keith Byers and Pete Johnson. So kudos to Miyan Williams. This was the first time that he was the feature back. He got the lion's share. Dallin Hayden came in late, but Miyan Williams, he was the man. until they says your day is done. And he obviously produced, having a career high today with 189 yards. And again, put it on the offensive line. The other thing too, guys, I want you to start watching when you watch Ohio State games. When Ohio State breaks a play, as if it's either a long run or a nice pass play, take note of the blocking downfield by Ohio State's receivers. They have been taught so well to block downfield and tie up guys, and that's how big plays happen. It's not because this guy's just a better athlete and he just makes plays. It's a total team effort. Our receivers block as good as anybody downfield when Ohio State's playing offense. It's absolutely fantastic. And that's why you got a guy like Miyan Williams that can have a day like today when not only the offensive line is working, but those receivers downfield, when he hits those stretch plays and gets to the outside, just start taking note of how well guys are blocking downfield for him. Number 2, Steel Chambers. By far his best game as a starting linebacker at Ohio State. Everyone's been talking about Tommy Eichenberg. He's the guy. Well, guess what? Steel Chambers was a man today. He had double-digit tackles. He had tackles for loss. I think he had 3 or 4 tackles for loss, and he had the INT. He did a great job running sideline to sideline to catch guys on stretch plays, on zone reads where Rutgers looked like they were going to get to the outside. Steel Chambers wasn't having it. Did an outstanding job running down ball carriers all day. Outstanding. By far, Steel Chambers' best game as an Ohio State linebacker. Excuse me. Number 3, as a high, Zach Harrison. Finally, Zach Harrison making a little bit of noise. He caused the turnover on the fumble by getting his hand in there, and he caused the interception by batting it and getting the tip pass that Steel Chambers was able to intercept. So he had multiple pressures, too, on the quarterback. I did watch him a few times. He had some pressures on the quarterback. So Zach Harrison finally shown a little bit why he was a 5-star today. Granted, it's against Rutgers, guys. I'm not going to go out and do cartwheels for him, but I will say this. He did at least play, and his name was mentioned today, and I wanted to also bring that up as a high for me on today with Zach Harrison. The 4th high today is Rutgers on 3rd down, only 1 of 10, and they were 0-2 on 4th down. You guys that have seen me with these breakdowns and analysis before, I always talk about third down defense. You can throw 4th down in there. So Rutgers only picked up 1 first down on 3rd down. So absolutely outstanding. And then obviously Ohio State gets 2 4th down stops as well. So fantastic job right there.